President Trump just made an announcement that he's working to lower beef prices, which is extremely confusing because he's been actively doing things that are making them worse. The single largest corporate donor to President Trump's 2025 inaugural fund was Pilgrim's Pride, which is a JBS subsidiary. If you haven't seen my previous videos on JBS, they're the single largest meat packer in the world and control 85% of meat packing, along with Cargill, Tyson, and National Beef Packing Co. The meat packers, and specifically JBS, have long criminal rap sheet which include things like price fixing, price gouging, importing rotten meat, deforesting the Amazon rainforest, and bribing over 1,900 government officials. However, all these things did not stop President Trump and his administration from allowing JBS to file for an IPO earlier this year. In fact, Trump's SEC Commissioner Paul Atkins greenlit the JBS IPO only 2 days into when he was sworn in. One of the primary reasons that American ranchers have been hurting for years and American consumers have been paying so much for beef is the market power that these four companies hold. By allowing JBS to gain access to more capital on the New York Stock Exchange, continually giving government contracts to JBS and other companies, and not doing anything to break up their market power, President Trump is ultimately benefiting these big players, hurting American ranchers and hurting consumers who are ultimately paying more. Additionally, there has been continued cutting of funds and grants that are going to producers and a lack of new investment into local and regional meatpacking facilities. There's a lot that the federal government can and should do to help local food supply chains and help American ranchers. One of the things I've been talking about for years is the Prime Act, which would allow beef producers to go to state-inspected facilities to sell their beef in-state and not have to go to USDA federally inspected facilities. Another easy action would be continuing the work of the previous administration by investing in local and regional meatpacking facilities. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and be sure to give me a follow for more news on food, farming, and health.